22 men ready to do battle. It's time to dance. And this one is underway here on EA Sports.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone.
And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Now ETN to start the drive. And a short pickup to about the 25.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going. And then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Watson. And he's got his big tight end here. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. 14 yards there on a Falcon first down.
Well, partner, that's the start that you want right there. And you know he spent the entire offseason throwing hundreds, I'd probably say thousands of passes, getting ready for that moment. The first throw of the new season. He's dreamed about it, thought about it, and now it's out of the way.
1 for 1, a lot more to go. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. ETN up the middle. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. And they'll go again with ETN. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. To throw is Watson. And incomplete on the deep ball.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Watson. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 27-yard line. Give them 22 there on the 3rd down conversion. This is shaping up to be a really nice-looking drive to get the season underway here.
And how long do you think that they actually have been plotting this drive? I'm talking about the coaching staff, right? They've been thinking about this for a while now, and I think they're executing it even better than what they expected.
Fletcher Cox there for the tackle.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Straight ahead, ETN. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Travis Etienne, a 23-yard run. And the Falcons are on the board here first in the season opener. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game.
after the touchdown. McPherson on to kick this one away. Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara broke a tackle, but not much room there ultimately. Just up past the 25 and no further. The tackle made by Levi Wallace.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Running left on the handoff is Kamara. Room here to run. Touchdown, Detroit. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good.
And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Perfect start to the season on their first drive last time out, able to find the end zone. Now we'll see if they can make it 2 for 2 here in week 1.
And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Back to throw, Watson.
They'll get this out to the flat for ETN.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Brandon, you know this is going to be discussed because this is the fear of all the backs when they run this type of a route. They've got to find the football, and sometimes they don't see the defender. And in this case, he took a pretty good shot for his efforts, but give him credit, able to hold on to the football.
Now a play fake, and it's Watson. And that's caught inside the 35. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown.
Garrett Wilson,
71 yards.
and the Falcons have taken the lead.
Seeing some pretty good offense here in this first quarter.
It's been a wild start to this quarter, as you noted. And now with that lead that we're seeing, can they retaliate? I get the sense this one's going to go back and forth all game long.
And that probably won't be the last long touchdown that we see in this one.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that makes the score 14-7.
to the touchdown. McPherson on to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to... As it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They were successful last time finding the end zone on their opening drive of the season, and they'll get another shot here with a 1st and 10. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Mahomes to throw. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Mahomes now to throw. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Levi Wallace with a pick. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively, getting inside the quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. It shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of the position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Etienne once more. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
But forget knowing where the 1st down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front. And a lot of times that is one-on-one. If you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
McPherson's kick is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25. Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to want to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 86 yards rushing for him in this first half as he is looking in mid-season form here in the opener.
We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Oh, what a move. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football.
Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, I also wonder if it's going to nerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
A give running right, ETN.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Another tote for ETN. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a 1st down for the Falcons.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
The last run went so well for them, maybe they should have just handed it off right here, too. Instead, the quarterback ends up keeping it, and the defense is right on him and wipes away the yardage gained on the last snap.
Another try after the 1st down sack. Watson, and this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
McPherson's kick is good, and that will open the lead up now to 20-7. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Detroit. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation, knowing when it exists to go to it. They did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, give that water break and get on out there and play.
And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Watson's throw into the hands of Lockett. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
My goodness, they've come out locked in on this drive. Play calling, execution, they are fully in sync. 3 straight passes, 3 first downs. They're moving the ball downfield almost at will. This defense really struggling to find answers.
He works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. Second down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On second down, ETN once more. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 78 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
On first down, it's Watson. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
On second down, a run with ETN. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's third down now.
That was well defense right there. He saw the play in front of him and able to hold the point of attack. Then he sheds it and goes and makes a tackle for a loss.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive. A shotgun snap and a give to ETN. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. McPherson's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, but still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. And Mahomes misfires again, and it's intercepted. Jeremy Chin picks it up, and the Falcons are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. A nightmare of a first half for him, and that's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go to the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
A nice gain of 21 yards.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Now a throw here to his running back, and they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
To the air yet again. Watson under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Going to need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Garrett Wilson in the final seconds of the first half. And the Falcons are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And with Mahomes under center, anything's possible. Watch out for the deep ball. Throwing deep for Galladay. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin.
We'll see if week one fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. By no means certainly are they out of this contest. Two-score game start of the third quarter, but you feel like if they don't get points and then they give up points, then it can become a slippery slope. This feels like an important possession.
Yeah, and that slope becomes even more slick if you come away empty-handed on this drive, because then you give them a chance to extend their lead. You need some kind of points here, even if it's just a field goal. It's what I call one of those calming drives. Try and slow things down a little bit.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Anthony Brown. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. Tough one there. First drive of the third quarter, throw an interception, and now a chance that they could be in even a bigger hole if they can convert this into points.
Yeah, but how good do you feel if you're that defensive coordinator right now? Because you just know that the head coach looked at him and said, turn him loose, big man. And he
is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Travis Etienne, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Falcons are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 23. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Returning from his end zone is Ty Johnson. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Mahomes. And my goodness, another interception. Levi Wallace with a pick. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. From the gun, here's Watson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense. Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
3rd and long. It's Watson. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Wow, I mean,
It's so rare to even see one attempted from that distance, CD, let alone converted, but he came through with confidence and matches what was Tom Dempsey's 43-year NFL record at one point of 63 yards.
Yeah, I can still see that highlight of Dempsey making that kick, and nowadays we see it a little bit differently because, remember, Dempsey was a straight-on kicker. But these guys nowadays, the range keeps increasing, and they keep putting it through the posts.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And they'll get to him quickly here as he'll get a yard, just a yard to the 22.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last two drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Kamara gets it again on second down. And he can muster only a couple here to the 24. Well, when you get an elite running back like he is, sometimes you've got to employ the by any means necessary method to get him down.
Yeah, sometimes you're relieved even if a flag comes out. But if you just get the hand up and you get it on the mask, you can kind of get away with that. But as soon as you curl it around a finger or the hand, that's pretty easy for everyone to see, and they'll call that one every time.
To the sideline, wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. 2 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch, I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
And now here's another interception. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game. But that's something right there, still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day. They're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
23 yards on the play.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover one. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Tackle there by Michael Pierce.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
Here's Watson now on second down. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Now Watson. Touchdown! Garrett Wilson with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Falcons extend their lead yet again. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Meanwhile, Mahomes' throw here on target to Hurst. Finding room at midfield. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. 22 yards there, a first down.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Mahomes to throw once more. And this is going to be intercepted. Jeremy Chin picks it off. And the Falcons will take over here at their own 14-yard line.
That's a beautiful read there by the safety. It's zone coverage, so he's just going to sit back and watch. He knows he can't get beat deep because he has the end line to protect him. So he can react to everything in front of him, and he makes a great break on the football and comes down with the interception.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. The football changing hands here, and as this offense takes the field, Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage, while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
A give to ETN running right. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage, it'll be back at the 36. They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. And it's going to be third down and a ways to go here, 3rd and 14. Watson now to throw. This complete to Lockett. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
I think that we all figured when he caught it that short of the marker that the defense almost relaxed and said, we've got this covered. And then all of a sudden, space to run after the catch. And now they're screaming, somebody get him down. Fortunately, they got to him and forced the 4th down.
Time now.
Here we go on 4th. Watson. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trail big in this 4th quarter. Touchdown, Detroit! Alvin Kamara, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Lions get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that trims the lead a bit, but still standing at 26 points. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They'll start on the ground, ETN. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On second down, ETN once more.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
They'll come to the line here, needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down. The Falcons send out their punter. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter.
On the return, Johnson.
Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And the Lions will take over. And looky there, Charles, just acquired, already making an impact on the defensive side of the football.
Maybe not a superstar, but he does a few things well, and I think they'll emphasize that in his new role with this team.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball.
And, my goodness, another interception.
Jeremy Chin picks it up, and the Falcons are going to take possession of the football.
Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around the defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 25 yards that time. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people are thinking about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Running out of the gun with ETN.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ballgame.
And the Falcons are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Out of the end zone comes Johnson. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this.
Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And the Falcons grab it. And they're going to get the football just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. This will be caught just inside the 10. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
On third down, here's Etienne.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up fourth down. McPherson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. He's got a man complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That goes for a gain of 31.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. A little tough on the secondary there, in zone defensively. Quarterback had time to survey and find a spot.
And if you want to change things up and put a little more pressure on him, you can go to man coverage. Everyone matches up and send more pressure. But you can also do it out of zone coverage if you're worried about what's going to happen on your back end. Send someone else, drop someone else out of the line. The old zone blitz could come into play to try and get that pressure on the quarterback.
First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. Throwing now is Mahomes. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Now it's Mahomes again. That is caught by Thielen. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 13-yard line. A nice pickup of 17 yards.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Being chased out left, and it's intercepted at the goal line.
Jeremy Chin picks it off.
And the Falcons will take over here at their own 14-yard line. Charles, are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reason to get voted into the Pro Bowl. When you have 4 in one game, I mean, talk about a campaign slogan, right? I got 4. Send me to the Pro Bowl, guys. What a game we've experienced watching this one.
Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. And they will take a knee here. CD, always a little extra excitement for Week 1, and one of our early window games here in Week 1 on a Sunday comes to a close. Good to be back in the booth with you, my friend.
And it's good to be back in the booth with you as well. And we know that not everyone's going to start the season 1-0, right? Half the league is going to have a loss on their record, but everyone's going to have to build off of that opener. And how many coaches tell us every single year, you make your most progress between Week 1 and Week 2. We'll see how both of these teams progress the rest of this season.
So for the Falcons, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers.